Well, good morning. This is Kim having her morning coffee in the garden this morning. I fixed an omelet for myself, but love to have my morning coffee out on the back deck. But what I've got to show you today is some of the carryover from overwintering a non-hardy succulent. If you remember a video that I did last fall where I took in my Baby Sunrose, I put it in a large aquarium, using it kind of as a terrarium to hold it over for the winter, and I ended up taking that to my son's because he had the room. But look how well he took care of it. It was wonderful. So I've taken out of the aquarium and stored the the aquarium again so that I can use it this fall, because I do intend to take them in again. But here's just some cuttings that I have done. I have these tiny cupcake-sized hypertufa pots. These are made from leftovers. Just takes a tiny little bit. Those, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, were yogurt cups. And if they don't work out for a pot for you, they make really good pedestals to put a larger hypertufa pot on. So, just to let you know. But I'm going to use these to root the cuttings. So I've cut these apart. That little twist of vine or trailing plant that I showed you. And I've removed some bottom leaves, but I have each of them stuffed down into one of these little pots. But I think it will probably wilt a little bit, but I've got them moistened. The soil was moistened. And all I've really done is stuck a pencil down in there, made a hole, and pushed the stem down into the pot. I think I'll have 3 little new plants very, very soon. Now here's some of the earlier cuttings that I have done. I've got this planted in the same, or at least the same size pot that I had it last year. And it's doing real well. You can see they're getting really big, nice and bright green with the white rims. And I've only had a few little buds and blooms so far, but those are yet to come. I think I got a kind of a late start on that. But I've got several others here in the other pots. Now, over here in one of my large draped hypertufa, I have the mother plant, the one that actually came out of the terrarium, aquarium, and I've got that paired with a sedum angelina. I think those colors look really, really good together. You can even see in this particular pot where one of them is reverted to kind of a white color all over. And I've got one in the front that I think I have a photo of that on the post showing it turned all green. But these are just a really pretty plant with a bright, it's either hot pink or red, just I guess depending on your view of the color. But it's a nice, nice plant. And it grows very, very fast once it gets going, because they were just recently just little cuttings that I had taken. Now my coral reef is blooming really well. I'll soon have to cut those tops off. Jade plant, we'll talk about that later. And let me see, I do have some more here on the deck that have, oh, there's another little piece of coral carpet with its little white bloom. Can't help but love that little plant. This one's turned out really nice with its assortment of plants. That's the, I think that's the blue spruce. Now I've got one of the cuttings here. It's just rooting real nicely in the graveyard moss. The graveyard moss has finished blooming, and I'm just going to top off those little flower clusters because I don't need it to seed in that pot, because it doesn't need to spread around the garden. It's just going to be contained in that pot, give me a nice waterfall. But so will the Baby Sunrose once it gets growing. Now this is the one out front that I have blending real well with a lot of the other plants. I really, really adore this Baby Sunrose. You might try to get some of that at your local growers and see what you can do with it. But thanks for watching today. I'm glad you joined me here at Kim's Gardens on YouTube. And be sure to watch another video and like and subscribe. And be sure to make a comment. I like to hear from you. Thanks for watching.